Hi, boys and girls. Thanks for joining the channel, and we shoot another video. Um, God, you know, this video is going to be about the enduro bikes, right? Not the stealth bomber because it's a clone from enduro. I'm sorry, it's a clone from a stealth bomber. It's enduro frame and bike and all that good stuff. You guys see my bike, my previous videos. You see what's going on, right? So besides cracking the kind of like not necessarily maintenance, but what's going on, right? So cracking the frame, you saw that video welded together, thanks to my friend Tony. Um, Over tightening the thumb throttle, we have a replacement. There's a video. You can watch that. Nice aluminum, waterproof. So it's rated waterproof. And what else? We did change the paint on a bike to black flat. You guys can check out the video also. Um, what's in the horizon? So we did order a Kelly controller. What is my goal with the Kelly controller? I'm really pissed. I didn't have a choice. The story about my original purchase for the battery from China is in my video library. It just never came. So I did a dispute, got my money back, and unfortunately, it was about $1,300. Unfortunately, I had to settle for a local seller on eBay from California, and back then he was only offering 50 amp BMS on the battery, not wireless, not Bluetooth, nothing like that, nothing fancy. So I jumped on that, and of course, 6 months, well, season later, a year later, they offering the 80 amp BMS battery at 50 amp hour battery. So it's designed for a 5,000 watt motor. What I have. Am I going to gash out another $1,100 and buy that battery? It just defeats the entire purpose of getting the battery in the first place. So no, I'm not. But what I have noticed, I have compared my 5,000 watt motor to an 8,000 watt motor at a same speed, same setting, same everything, a different controller, and the obviously the 8,000 watt motor, it just gets warm. It doesn't get hot. My motor, I've noticed, gets hot. Is there any damage done to it? Not as of yet. Is there a possibility of causing a damage to the Hall sensor magnets? Of course, that just will take a little time of how many times this motor will overheat. But I beat on it. I never, took easy. I was always strong and hard on my throttle. I didn't never baby it, so that's not the issue. Um, it's just I don't like the fact that it gets so hot. However, so my goal with the Kelly is to see if I can tweak, right? So the original controllers and systems that you get, and the controllers, if they aren't programmable, you kind of like plug in the so-called original controller that you get from China in the system. You plug it in, and you hope for the best, right? You hope that they set the controller to at least 80% performance, right? Which I completely doubt it. I'm probably pushing maybe 50% out of the current controller that I have, because there's no way to set it. There's no way to go into it and to set the parameters settings. So what I'm hoping for from Kelly is that it is going to give me the capability of setting, first of all, doing the whole sensor test, because that's how the controller realizes how much the motor can take, power, torque, top speed, right? I could be limited with that. I know that the original controller that I got from China, that's have 3-speed switch. Now I'm assuming that it is not at the bottom end because it is hitting 50 miles an hour. So I'm assuming it's at the third gear, third speed, which is the highest. Now that's only assumption, assuming that it's putting out its 100% capability, which again I doubt it. Probably is doing 80. Uh, so if I can do the whole sensor test with Kelly on this motor, I also know that in the settings you have where you can lower the voltage. So it's actually a good thing where I can maybe lower the voltage, keep it at let's say 72, and raise up the phase current, and keep it at let's say 50. And I don't know how. I guess continuous will be the 100, but I don't know how that kicks in. I don't. I mean, I know that it's going to be for whatever 10 seconds, and yes, the wires that I have are thick enough, but they're thick enough for that 10-second burst. And overall, it's just a crappy situation that I'm in with the batteries, but that's why I had to settle. Now, so this is what I'm expecting of Kelly. This is why I got the Kelly. Again, you know, years ago when I started doing this modifications and building my own bikes, I was so sloppy and so reckless that, you know, a couple of times I freaking touched the positive negative together and blew up the controller and had to change it. Now this controller is not a cheap controller, so I can't really afford mistakes like that. However, my wiring has completely changed. This bike is extremely clean wiring when it comes to positive and negative. I am extremely careful with the positive negative because, you know, we talk about a couple $100 of loss if I was to knock it off the wood, God forbid, blow it up. So, and again, the connection is completely different, so they're much cleaner, more separated. Um, but anyway, the shipping is priority. About $68 for shipping from China, obviously from Kelly.com controllers, because I want the original, not the knockoff from Alibaba Express or Alibaba itself. So I went with the original manufacturer, which is Kelly. They give you a 2-year warranty, you know, specs and this and that, all that good stuff, right? So which one did I get? I get the I got the one with 110 amps and burst at 300, okay, and phase current at 350. It is a good controller. There's nothing bad about it. I can tweak it. I can do all kinds of things. So I'm going to be very happy with it. I already know compared to what I have right now in the bike. Now, you know my goal with the Kelly controller. That's what we're going to look at. I don't know if I should take it to my friend and see if he can tweak it around. I could just do the whole sensor test and give it a rip in a yard over here. I can take it to him. That's going to be determined in the future when I receive it. I did have to wait 3 days extra because I told him to make it completely waterproof, where they put gel, they insert gel inside the controller, so there's no water going in. So I no longer have to worry about getting any water in it. So if I need to, I can have it outside. However, if you ever seen Kelly controllers mini, because that's what it is, they literally so small it's not even funny. They are smaller than I have the current one. They might be fatter, but they are smaller. So that's only what's going to happen is right now the controller, when I jump, you can hear it jumping up and down. I'm going to work with it, do something about it with the new Kelly controller when I stick it into my frame. But it is annoying because it feels like I'm bottoming out with the rear shock, which I know I'm not. So that's the mess. And for next season, I'm planning to do the 8,000 watt motor and probably the different battery. I'll do 150 continuous amps and 350 peak. It's going to be 70 amp hour battery, so I'm going to have even a better range, which right now I don't have a problem with the range or anxiety range whatsoever, because the bike just rides, never ran out of juice. And I've done lots of unpredictable trips or unplanned trips where I didn't even have to think if I'm going to run out of the battery juice. So that's it. Kelly, install, tweet, do the whole sensor test, see what I can get from this current motor. I actually already have a shit. I have already a buyer for this bike for about $3,400, which is awesome. He says, listen, I'm the first one you got to call when you want to get rid of the bike. So, possibility might be that I'll sell this bike and build a different bike with a enduro frame with the plastic side covers, because I do like it. The dropouts and sway arms are much wider and better on that bike, and it's purely out of steel. Unlike this one, it's a shallow steel, so it kind of sucks. But then you're talking about $1,200 for the battery, $1,200 for the $1,200 for the battery, $500 for the frame, and we'll have the controller. So that's battery and control. Well, no, battery and a frame. So you're talking about $1,800, which I don't want to put out. So I'll rack this frame and see how that's gonna go. I'm gonna get some grease today from Lowe's. I am going to get what I need to get. Maybe wrap the paint and see if I can paint it. Like I said, right now it was raining. The sun was out for a couple of minutes, and now it's just gone. So it kind of sucks. It didn't say that it's going to rain on a weekend, but it is. For next week, it's kind of awkward because it's going to rain 3 days out of 5. Is it? Yeah, 3 days out of 5. It's going to rain Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I can only take the bike probably Tuesday and Friday if I really go anal about it. So that's that. Brakes are kind of spongy. We'll work on it soon. Right now my goal is to lubricate the headset because it's making cracky noise, and I completely hate any noise on my bike. It has to be quiet. And see if I can try to cover the wires and kind of bolts, so I can kind of do the Raptor paint, see how that comes out. I think it should come out pretty cool. So, but I don't want to take the entire bike apart and then paint it and put it back together. I just retarded, so I'm not gonna do that. And I'll probably paint it outside. So I don't know if this is gonna happen today because of the rain, but you just can't paint when it's raining, because it won't dry out, and it does, it'll come all over the paint. But anyway, so that's that. In regards to the bike, right? So these are kind of like small hiccups that I've got, which is the frame. That was a big issue, but it was solved very easily, very fast. Thanks to my friend Tony. Then the throttle over tightened because the fucking throttle is plastic. I never knew that they have aluminum, so I got aluminum. It should last me for years, and it's waterproof. So that's a beautiful thing. The computer display is kind of giving me a hiccup. It's kind of it seems like it's going, so that's to be expected. But I think I'm gonna put the battery aside. I'm gonna put the frame aside, purchase, and I go and see how Kelly's behaving. If I can get the 50 amps out of the batteries and I can hit, let's say, 55 miles an hour speed, I will be happy with that for now. But I think when I do that 55, the motor is going to give out, and that's when I'm going to call up the Chinese guys. Says, can you send me a replacement? I'll get a replacement, and I'll probably sell it here locally. The market for electric bikes is so freaking hot, it's not even funny. Me and Tony were riding, or I and Tony, we were riding from Brooklyn to Manhattan to the ferry, and we literally met like 3 guys checking out the bikes. It was like, oh, how can I do mine? How can I upgrade mine? And these are like rod bikes, the Aero Rider, those kind of bikes. And yeah, you can just get rid of the bike and build your own bike, which is not really a great choice to me. But some people think it's just, listen, don't waste your money and just toss it. I wouldn't do that. The Rad Rider, whichever the step through frame and all that, they have a different tire measurements. It's not literally 20, but I think you can put a 20-inch rim. So the QS motor through the 3000 right before the 8000, you can squeeze that guy in. It rates at 3000, but it's considered a 5000 watt kit. So you can rack that in, put a 72 volt battery, 72 volt controller that you can program, and boom, or just and then knock off for now and just hit that 50 mile an hour speed instead of being stuck at 25, 30 miles an hour bike. I mean, you can see a huge difference because when I take off and the bikes, like behind me take off from the ferry, they're like dusted behind, no comparison. And I'm 250-pound guy, so it's just not like I'm featherweight. There's some weight on a bike, plus bike battery itself and all that. So all that mass travels this fast, so quickly. Is my bike torquey and is take off? It's torquey, but when it starts taking off, it takes not a while. To me now it's a while, but it takes more than advanced bike build. So it's not like extreme. But when you kind of like doing 10 miles an hour and you press on the throttle, you can feel the jerk of current and power going through. With the new controller, if I want to push, well, actually, I'm not going to be pushing more than 50, so defeats the point. If I do face current let's say 300 or 200, y'all give me the battlement torque, but I hope I won't, one, warm up my battery, two, melt my freaking wires. So I might actually, regardless, go over into a battery because the warranty is over. Open it and either change the BMS like I originally thought I would, or just pretty much change the leading wires, the discharge, not the charge wires. Charge wires, they charge at maximum 10 amps. The discharge, if it's at 100, peak and 50 continuous, it's not gonna be a problem. But if I was to, let's say, change the BMS and do 150, there's a different story. But anyway, that's after the season. I do not want to play, while the season is on, because it will put me out of commission, and I can't afford being out of commission on a bike, which is for a couple of reasons. One, it's a great commuter. Two, it's a hell of a great time and fun. Three, saves ton money on gas, especially right now it gets like over $5. It's coming down now, but back then it was like a month and a half since I've been riding, it was like over $5. So that saves me money. Of course, the tolls, that saves me tremendous money because it's like $6.50 each way. So I gotta pay going out and coming in. So you're talking about $13 every single day multiplied by 5, or multiply even for 60 days that I've ridden the bike, or 70 days that I've ridden the bike. You save heck of a money. So it can be out of commission for the season. I'll do the throttle because I want to try it out, see how it feels, and the wires, everything is managed, and of course grease. I gotta get the grease, guys. I love chatting with you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you lasted this long, because all my videos are average or maybe long or too long. But I see lots of guys coming in. I see lots of guys asking questions. Like I've said, I've had few guys call me through Instagram, through WhatsApp, and we've done lots of troubleshooting. We've helped lots of people. Lots of guys are happy. This market is booming. There's so many clients, and there's so many people that need help with the projects, with the builds, and I can't go extreme. Like my friend goes extreme. He's just like, you know what? Don't waste your money on this bike. Sell this bike and buy another one. Lots of people don't have the option. I can see how I feel about my bike. I'm extremely attached to my bike. It's like my baby. Originally her name was Jessica. Now it's Black Widow because she's all black. But there is a kind of sentimental attachment to your project, to your bike. You build it, it's yours, and you continue building it and you continue improving it. And I was lucky that Tony had welded my frame. There's a couple of tweaks that I want to do with the frame, and I know he's going to help me out. He's a good guy, very helpful. He's very sincere, and I really appreciate that. You don't find too many people like that, too many friends that they're willing to help you, regardless, how they feel about the project. But definitely appreciate you guys as audience. I'm definitely happy that I can help out the guys that reach out to me. Again, there's few people from foreign countries, UK, Great Britain, Switzerland, Germany, Poland. I mean, America, Texas, Ohio, Maryland. I mean, there's so many of you guys that interact with me on a daily basis. Call me to troubleshoot things. I mean, it's just awesome. Hopefully we can, get this going. So, if you subscribe, you share, you like this video, it's the algorithm that YouTube really recognize that this channel is being active, and it helps out the channel, helps me grow, helps me reach out to more people, which I definitely appreciate. And I love to help out, put out ideas, and I will work whatever project you have, whatever you want to build. Shoot your questions. We're not going to throw out your current build. We're going to work with the current build, because now lots of people want to do that. They don't want to throw out the builds, something that they purchase for $2 or $3 or $4,000. I can't tell you just get rid of it. Yeah, that's it's an idea of starting everything fresh. But lots of people, when they purchase these bikes, they put out the hearts out, besides financial spending that they have to invest into, and now they want you to improve it. They don't want to really get rid of it. Would I be willing to get rid of it after this season? Yeah, I mean, I love the bike, but I know that I can improve my project for next bike. And at some point, when people are ready, they will move on. They will sell their project or their lovely bike, and they'll move on to a different bike, different better build, better performance, and they'll like it better, and they'll say, what, I did like that bike, I love that bike, but it was a beginner, it was a starter. Now I can do this, or I can ride this bike, or I can do certain different things. So yeah, I love it. I love it. For now, I'm gonna get the heck out of here and hope and pray for better weather outside. It's awkward, but hopefully I get to install the throttle and do some paint job, maybe today or tomorrow. And like I said, next week is not promised, but we'll go for at least 2 days of travel, so we can save time, money, headaches, traffic hours, and have my time where I don't have to sit in the traffic in a car and be tied up, handcuffed to the steering wheel, and curse at everybody around me. Why the hell they're going so slow? And that's why there's traffic going. Anyway, folks, make sure you drive safe, okay? I've seen too many close calls. I've had too many close calls. It wasn't my fault. It was the other people. They're not watching. They're not looking out for the bikes. They're not used to our electric bikes going so fast. They can't calculate the speed versus, traveling from point A to point B. So you got to be very careful. You got to be extra cautious, because it is not our fault. If you're not reckless, you're a responsible rider. Most likely 99.9% is not your fault. It's their fault. They pull up. If there is a stop sign, you're supposed to stop before a stop sign, and they never do. I've seen it happen too many times, and that's the problem. You have other drivers or riders where they want to speed, and they don't consider that it takes time to stop a big heavy bicycle, electric bicycle. They're reckless. They don't have respect for other bicyclists. It's just bunkers, and we all need to respect each other on the road. I like to go slow, especially when I see lots of traffic. I like to yield to pedestrians. I like to interact with the pedestrians. I like to have eye contact with pedestrians, with drivers, and everything else. Even though my eyeglasses or my goggles, you can't see my face, but I always have eye contact, and I always try to predict. And I hate to see anybody getting hurt, getting injured, being paralyzed, and all that on the top. It's just unnecessary. We're here to enjoy the community. We're here to enjoy our rights, And guess what? Maybe you'll get there late, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes late. But you know what? You're going to arrive over there alive. And that's what really counts, to stay alive, to enjoy the hobby, to enjoy the community, to enjoy your time, your leisure. And it's just a privilege to be, the top pioneer of the community of electric vehicles. All right, folks? Take care, share, subscribe, ride safe. See you later.